Buenas estudiantes, aquí estamos para resolviendo antigritud y acoso. Yo me llamo Sasha Solano y también soy de tercer año.
After last year's Black History Month, which I might add was the first Black History Month that I've had in 10 years, Black students felt affirmed and seen.
Por cierto, fue la primera asamblea en 10 años. Los estudiantes negros se sintieron reconocidos y vistos.
We're here now because Black students are still dealing with racism and microaggressions from teachers, staff, and students. We want to feel safe and protected in the school, classrooms, and just walking in the hallway.
Estamos aquí ahora porque los estudiantes negros todavía siguen lidiando con racismo, macroagresión, con maestros, personal y estudiantes. Se quieren sentir seguros y protegidos en sus aulas.
Now you will watch a video discussing what anti-Blackness is.
Ahora veremos un video hablando sobre qué es antigritud.
What does anti-Blackness mean? Anti-Blackness refers to structural racism and oppression that marginalizes Black people. It can include violence, discrimination, dehumanizing policy, police brutality, segregation, mass incarceration, devaluing Black lives, and more. Anti-Blackness places Black people at the bottom of the social order. It challenges the idea that all racial minorities have the same lived experiences, and though all racism is damaging, it's still important to see how it particularly affects Black people. Anti-Blackness looms over the daily experiences of Black people, robbing them of dignity and full humanity in our society. And it's only when we acknowledge and dismantle systemic anti-Blackness that we begin to repair the damage done to Black communities and uplift their contributions that make our whole society beautiful.
Here is a video from CNN that explains the origins of the N-word.
Ahora veremos un video de las noticias que hablan sobre el origen de esta palabra racista.
Hello everyone, Chef Bibi. The next video that you guys are going to watch, it does use vocabulary that should not be used as a form of mockery or for you to repeat to hurt someone's feelings or to make somebody feel any type of way. So please be respectful and be conscious of your words. So el siguiente video que van a ver usa lenguaje que es muy fuerte y este lenguaje no es para que ustedes lo usen de forma de burla o lo vuelvan a repetir. Por favor, sean respetuosos sobre las experiencias de otras personas. Gracias.
There's still niggers in America around uniform.
It was said without thinking, painting an entire race with a single word. But it wasn't always a slur. Originally, the Latin N-I-G-E-R just meant black. But at the dawn of America, N-I-G-E-R became N-E-G-A-R to describe some of the first shipments of African slaves.
What's your name? Kunta Kinte. It's Tony. That's good nigger.
And with slavery, the word was contorted into its current, dark, degrading, hateful insult for African Americans.
We are the Ku Klux Klan. We hate niggers.
Over time, it has appeared in everything from ugly propaganda to cartoons to nursery rhymes. Eenie Meenie didn't always end with Catch a Tiger by the toe. It was tossed about casually in movies well into the 20th century, part of the way of life, but also sometimes to raise consciousness. And in the civil rights era, the stigma came to an end. Author James Baldwin in the 1963 documentary Take This Hand.
We knew better than they. I didn't know. White people read it.
In the 1970s emerged a new willingness to explore the impact of the word, and even satirize it.
And isn't it a lovely morning? Up yours, nigger. If you two ever really started going to one another, inside of 5 minutes, he'd be calling you say nigger.
It hardly disappeared in the 1980s and 90s, though white people rarely said the word publicly. Some black people did, a lot.
Black people, there's niggas. And niggas have got to go.
As a society, we tried to ignore, ban, literally bury.
The NAACP held this symbolic funeral for the N-word.
And we perhaps added more gravity to the word just by refusing to say it.
Whenever a white lady on CNN with nice hair says, the N-word, that's just white people getting away with saying nigger. That's all that is.
The question is, have you witnessed or experienced anti-Blackness at Rosa?
La pregunta es, ¿han presenciado o experimentado racismo contra las personas negras aquí en Roswell? Personas que no son negras usar el término irrespetuoso para referirse a ellos.
I say it makes me uncomfortable. Like, say if you friends with somebody in class and you talk to them a lot and you kind of build a relationship with them, and you see them saying the N-word in the hallway, it ruins me. Like, it makes me uncomfortable and not want to get close around people there. It makes me feel like kind of like I'm enemies, even though like even if they don't mean it, it may be in a disrespectful way. Say they grew up saying the word. It's just like at the end of the day, it's a slip.
Personally, I feel like low-key trapped because like there's just a lot of them and it just feels like they would start getting up on me and just tell me the reasons why they should be able to say the word, even though they didn't have to deal with the consequences of the word because it's mainly about our color and how melanated we are.
I feel like if I tried to correct them, they will all just like get up on me and tell them that it's okay for them to say that and that it's abusive. Like everyone else saying, why can't they? And I just don't want that type of energy towards me, so I just choose not to say anything.
Yeah, I also agree with that. She was saying exactly what I was about to say.
I feel like when they come up to me and they say that you are not black, and it doesn't matter, like you should not be saying that to nobody at all, period. It makes me feel like you can just come up to a black person and just talk to them any type of way you want, and that's making me feel disrespectful.
Now, in under 60 seconds, we will learn a brief history of Black history in Mexico.
Ahora, en menos de 60 segundos aprenderemos una breve historia sobre México Negro.
In 2020, over 2.5 million people identified as Afro-Mexican on the census, with the largest populations in Guerrero, Oaxaca, Veracruz, and Mexico City. Coahuila is a historically black town that is home to Mexico's Afro-Mexican Museum. Enslaved Africans were first brought to Mexico by the Spanish from the 1500s onwards to work in agriculture and mining. Gaspar Yanga was informally enslaved man who escaped captivity and created a free black settlement in 1570. He was subsequently hailed as the Mexican national hero. Afro-Mexicans also fought in the Mexican War of Independence. One of the most famous Afro-Mexicans in history was the revolutionary leader, General Vicente Guerrero, who was Mexico's only president of African descent. In 2016, the governmental body CONAPRED launched a campaign, #SoyAfro, I am Afro, designed to raise awareness of the Afro-Mexican community. Various organizations today work to improve conditions for the Afro-Mexican population, such as Mexico Negro and Huella Negra.
Anti-Blackness is global. We will hear how it shows in Latin America.
El racismo contra los negros es mundial. Escucharemos cómo se manifiesta en Centroamérica y esto es lo que los afro-latinos quieren decir.
In 2020, over 2.5 million people identified as Afro-Mexican on the census, with the largest populations in Guerrero, Oaxaca, Veracruz, and Mexico City. Coahuila is a historically black town that is home to Mexico's Afro-Mexican Museum. Enslaved Africans were first brought to Mexico by the Spanish from the 1500s onwards to work in agriculture and mining.
I remember when I first discovered what black was, and people kept calling people black. I remember like black, oh he's black, oh she's black, all that black, they're not black, they're brown, they're dark brown, that don't make no sense.
Being proud of my African roots is something that I don't take lightly and I embrace because it's part of who I am.
Nosotros queremos un mundo que decimos que queremos un latino unidos, pero con el mismo tiempo tenemos que terminar la discriminación entre nosotros los latinos.
Estamos como estamos porque somos racistas entre nosotros mismos, entre nuestra propia gente. ¿Sabes qué? No nos apoyamos.
I always feel like I'm never Latina because of my skin color, because of my hair.
I would just hear my family be like, oh, don't go with somebody that's dark skinned, no se la ponen, arregla la raza.
Dark skin in the Latino community isn't considered beautiful.
We've been colonized so poorly that we want to identify with being white so much, not all of us, but many of us, that we look down on dark skin.
Tú como negro latino tienes dos problemas. Primero eres negro, te discriminan por negro. Y segundo eres latino, y te discriminan por latino. Eso es doble limorín.
I remember when I was a kid, I looked at myself in the mirror. Yo dije, esta nariz, estos labios que tengo yo, amando. ¿Sabes que llora? Porque yo pensaba que yo era feo.
Tuve una compañera de trabajo que me enteré que a mi espalda se expresaba de mí como mona, la mona. ¿Sabes qué es lo más triste? Que ella era una latina.
I know I always stress my family whenever they say something like, they'll be like, Julissa, tú y eso moreno. And I'm like, we are morenos. That's us.
Your parents are instilling in you that these European features are the most beautiful thing. The standard of beauty for them is blonde hair and blue eyes.
I think there's some colorism just across the board because we've been taught that lighter skin is beautiful.
Light skin and fair skin is being portrayed on all platforms like TV and media and all of these things. It lets me know that that's what they perceive as beautiful.
And then you look on TV and the telenovelas, they don't look like me, ever. The only one I can remember is Celia.
Algo que me pasa muy seguido es que las personas dicen, ay, qué bonita eres, para ser una negrita. Entonces, una persona negra no puede ser bonita.
Dark skin is beautiful, and it has melanin in it, and it doesn't age. We hate ourselves so much that we really don't understand how beautiful we are.
Que yo por mi color o por lo que tú crees, tú no me vas a pagar, que yo voy a triunfar. Lo que yo voy a hacer, yo voy a triunfar.
Embrace the beauty that is you, because most people are trying to look like you. They're going to get their hair curled, they're going to get tans, they're getting injections in their butts and in their lips. They want to look like you. So don't hate you, because everybody wants to look like you.
Si había una fórmula, yo creo que ya lo hemos arreglado, no hay ninguna fórmula. Tú como individuo tienes que enseñar a tu gente de ser orgulloso de ser lo que eres. Somos negros y debemos ser orgullosos de nuestra raza.
And it's okay to be brown and dark, and it's okay to have beautiful big lips and features like this. It is okay. It is more than okay, actually, because the world changes and moves in different rhythms. And right now, people want to look like us.
That's what I was saying.
Sobre eso, ok. Ahora escucharemos al podcaster El Reino Clandestino hablar sobre quién puede decir la palabra N.
Nunca le digas a otra persona. Hace poco la cantante afroamericana Alicia publicó un tweet que decía: si no eres negro, deja de decir. Y tiene toda la razón. Te voy a explicar. Contexto. Esta palabra inicialmente se denominaba, y es una deformación de la palabra negro. Los colonizadores blancos en la época de la esclavitud empezaron a decirle a los negros de una forma despectiva para tener claro que ellos eran la mercancía con la que iban a comerciar. Con el tiempo esta palabra adquirió una etiqueta mucho más ofensiva, racista, en donde el afro era deshumanizado y obviamente estaba cargada de humillación y de desprecio. ¿Y por qué en la actualidad sigue siendo una de las palabras más ofensivas de toda la historia? Porque está cargada de violencia histórica. Este tema de deshumanizar a los afros era para justificar los linchamientos, los asesinatos, las violaciones y todos los vejámenes a los que fueron sometidos. Hoy por hoy esta palabra es considerado uno de los insultos más agresivos, más fuertes para las personas afrodescendientes. Si tú la dices, es mejor que te atengas a las consecuencias, es mejor que no lo ignores. Para que me entiendas un poco, es como si a mí vienes a decirme que hubo negro y bueno, no me lo voy a aguantar, te lo aseguro. O como si yo te dijera a ti, blanco cáter. Pero entonces la pregunta, ¿por qué entre afros si la utilizan? Ustedes lo escuchan todo el tiempo en las canciones. Precisamente porque primero no es con un pequeño cambio y lo utilizan como forma de reapropiación. Jay-Z en una entrevista con David Letterman tocó este delicado tema.
And what hip hop did was take that word and flip it.
Me insultaste con eso, ahora lo cojo para mí, pero el significado de entre afros es de solidaridad, de resiliencia y de confraternidad. El hecho de que sea un código entre afros no te da derecho, no siendo afro o no teniendo confianza con la persona, de decirle de esta forma porque te puedes meter en serios problemas. Estas son las notas clandestinas del reino clandestino. No vuelvas a decir esa palabra nunca. No olvides que el conocimiento es poder. Por favor, ayúdame a compartir, que todo el mundo lo sepa. Esto es cultura. Esto, sobre todo, es respeto.
Figure out what to do with that plight that a lot of non-black people have when you get to the N-word of a rap song. Instead of just going with cold, awkward silence, I now say individuals. It really works. It's fair to everybody, it's not racist, and it actually stays true to what the word's broad meaning is. Whether a person or a thing. Be my individuals. My individual.
Hi, can everybody please take out their phones again so then they can answer this question? Do you agree that people need to speak differently based on setting?
Por favor, saquen sus teléfonos otra vez para responder la pregunta que es, ¿estás de acuerdo que las personas necesitan hablar de manera diferente según el contexto? Es decir, el lenguaje en la aula y el lenguaje fuera de su aula, de su clase, pues. Propósito del compromiso. Hemos creado este compromiso porque queremos cambiar la cultura de Roosevelt. Queremos que nuestra comunidad escolar se sienta segura para todos.
Why the pledge?
Ahora los maestros van a estar dándoles el papel del compromiso para que ustedes lo lean. Mientras.
The teachers and other people are passing out the pledge, so please read it with us when we're reading it for you guys. The pledge. I promise to treat everyone, classmates and teachers with kindness and respect.
El compromiso es, yo prometo tratar a todos mis compañeros y profesores con humildad y respeto.
Speak up when I see or hear racism, bullying, or unfair treatment.
Denunciar cualquier caso de racismo, acoso o maltrato.
Listen and learn from others, even when their stories are different from mine.
Prometo escuchar y aprender de los demás, incluso cuando sus experiencias sean diferentes a las mías.
Stand up for anyone being treated unfairly.
Usar mi voz para apoyar a cualquier que sufra injusticia.
Keep learning about empathy, fairness, and being a good friend.
Seguir aprendiendo sobre igualdad, empatía y cómo ser un buen amigo o aliado.
Choose my words with care and never use offensive or hurtful language, including racial slurs.
Y también me comprometo a aprender nuevas palabras de forma consciente y asegurar cuidadosamente mis comunicaciones.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez, one of our deans, and Stephen is going to talk about why the pledge is important.
Ahora veremos un video de Mr. Rodríguez y el estudiante Steven sobre por qué es importante el compromiso.
The pledge shows that we are taking action towards something that is causing harm to our students' overall well-being. And one of the ways for someone to be able to heal and move forward is when that harm is repaired. And this is what I think is great about the pledge. It will develop trust in the process of making sure there is accountability, but also, and this is the other really good thing about the pledge, it's being proactive. Knowing that there is something already in place for racist behavior, hopefully make the student feel more safe, socially and emotionally. They feel there will be support because there will be solidarity for actions of racism and anti-blackness. Solidarity in the sense that other students will hopefully have the courage to speak up, defend their peers, know that they can go to an adult to report something, but most importantly, they know their teacher or any other staff member will have their back as well. Lastly, those students that are causing the harm through racism and anti-blackness, part of that accountability process the pledge provides is addressing the racism through difficult conversations, self-reflection, educating, decolonizing. Moving forward, this pledge will give us the opportunity to reimagine what this can look like at Roosevelt. Thank you.
Porque venimos a la escuela a aprender, no a preocuparnos de cómo vamos a ser tratados en nuestra escuela. Este compromiso nos ayuda a ser mejores en la vida para aprender a respetar y ser respetados.
Now, pledge is important because we all need to know the major reason and
the pledge is important because it will keep everyone safe, inside home and outside home. And it will also make me feel good because there's guys that are in the pledge will make it feel like I'm not missing one. And just to make this clear, if you're going to sign the pledge, do it because you want to or make others choose you.
I feel like the pledge is important because, like, usually I'm the only Black person in my classes, so I feel like it will just make me feel safer in like school, and it will like feel like someone got my hand in place.
The pledge is important because everyone needs to know to each other, no matter where you're from. I just feel like everybody should take this seriously, so we all take this seriously. I say that everywhere when I'm down. I say that everywhere I go, so I say it's gracious and red.
I believe this pledge will help Black students feel welcome and respected, because the N-word was never meant for everyone. It was created to target Black people, to degrade us, to remind us of what society all doing. When someone who isn't Black says that he has a joke, it brings that history back. It is different for me because it wasn't against your family or your identity. This isn't about double standards, it's about content, spirit, and grace and respect. Some words are too much pain to everyone. Wait, too long to everyone. Choosing not to say the word is choosing to honor that history and the people that live.
Thank you so much, my lovely panelists. And before we conclude, all our staff members will give a big round of applause for the courage and dedication. All right, thank you. Before we conclude the panel, I want to tell you why I believe the pledge is important. The N-word other free mark was treated as a daily norm we all the road of, but that is now. This pledge confronts the racism of many Black students, including myself, gonna say, it's unacceptable and hypocritical how anyone gonna say in the school that prides itself of speaking over 20 different languages. It is not our job to make her acceptance. However, what we will do is in respect, as we all inhabit the same homes. Just as many of you all saw protection from an unlawful verbal outrage, we seek protection from the ignorance and harmful words spoken in our same homes. These conversations are indeed uncomfortable. However, it is inner comfort that allows to grow the community. And our first step to grow is showing your conviction by signing this pledge.
El compromiso es importante para estos estudiantes porque de este modo se sienten más seguros y apoyados en la escuela.
Anti-Blackness globally and how it affects our students here at Roosevelt. We learned the connection between the diaspora and Latin America, discussed the history and impact of the N-word, and that it's not for non-Black people to say.
Lo que aprendimos fue que se analizó la historia del racismo contra las personas negras a nivel mundial y cómo afecta a nuestros estudiantes aquí en Roosevelt. Se aprendió sobre la conexión entre el diáspora y Latinoamérica. Se habló sobre las historias y el impacto del término despectivo para referirse a las personas negras y se recalcó que no corresponde a las personas que no son de color para usarlas.
What we learned, that we can make small changes here at Roosevelt by signing the pledge.
Lo que también aprendimos fue que vamos a hacer un cambio pequeño acá en Roosevelt firmando el compromiso.
The next step, will you sign this pledge?
Pero el siguiente paso, ¿vas a firmar el compromiso?
Once again, I want to give a round of applause to our ministers and I want to shout out Sasha. I mean, that's like my clap. Y'all a clapping bunch. Sasha and Amen, okay? the culture at Roosevelt, right? And you know, things won't change overnight. It's baby steps, but the pledge is in the right direction. So what we have by our illustrious leader, Dr. Kramer, raise your hand, Dr. Kramer, in the back. We have an 11th grade pledge. So on your way out, I think we had about 70% of the students here said they will sign the pledge. Dr. Kramer is signing it first, okay? So on your way out, the 70%, I hope you will sign the pledge. Maybe the other 30% that said they have to think about it will change their mind.